It's been such a while, I had my mic muted. It's been a while, hasn't it, ladies and gentlemen, since we last spoke? It's kind of awkward. Haven't done a live in 2 weeks. Not even sure what the live chat's saying. Haven't seen a bot or a spam in a while. But I do miss you guys. And I have a lot to say. I got a lot on my mind. So we're gonna get into this. It's good to be back. It is good to be back. I've got energy for this today. Let's do this. Yo, people, lateness is greatness. You already know what time it is. It's time for another YouTube live stream. It's been a while. It's been a while since we last did this. My goodness gracious. Holy damn, huh? What is all this about, huh? What's all this about, ladies and gentlemen? That one-to-one interaction, huh? That moment where we talk. We got a lot to say, don't we? When's the last time we did this? Before the international break? My goodness gracious. Happy birthday to you, my brother. First of all, big up the birthday boy in the chat. Let's make sure the cake emojis are splattering all over the place. It feels like I haven't spoken to you, man, on YouTube in a hot minute. Almost disgraceful at this point. It's been a madness. I've been neglecting you. You, man, are undernourished, underfed, and borderline anorexic. It's been a rough time. I'm tired too. The videos have been great. It's been great doing the videos, but again, this moment here where we talk together about what's going on at this football club, you can't buy that shit. All right, and it's good to be here. It looks. I was wearing the hangover glasses. Yes, I was. I just came off a Twitch stream. I'm slightly bloated after the food. But here we are. Appreciate Dominic for the support, bro. Thank you so much for the super chat. It's good to be back. And by the way, I have still been on here. I have still been on YouTube. I've still been posting. If you guys are not getting notifications, we are going to have to march down to YouTube space and have some strong words. Potentially strangle a couple brothers, because I have been putting out content. So if you have not seen it, I apologize. I wholeheartedly apologize, but I have been putting out content, and maybe YouTube just don't want you to see it. I don't know what's been going on, but if you check the channel, you can see. I'm not lying to you. Now, in terms of the lives, I won't lie to you. That hasn't been happening, but we're here. And while we are here, big up to all the teams that played tonight in the Champions League. You did offer up some brilliant entertainment, I must say. It was brilliant to see. There was goals flying in. Vinicius Jr. was doing a madness. I don't know if you man saw the goals. The pass from Modric. Oh my goodness. I crave for a midfielder that can do things like that. That was disgusting, as they say. It was nasty, filthy, if you want to call it that. And he scored another great goal, which was Ronaldo-esque. Bobbing and weaving in between man. And then on his left foot, uppercut into the roof of the net. Again, you love to see it. So today was a very entertaining day in the Champions League world. But let me tell you something. I didn't come here to talk about nobody else's club but mine. So if you're switched on, let's get it rolling, yeah? Chelsea, Malmö. I had a video that went out earlier. It didn't fully process. I don't know what YouTube are doing. Maybe 100 of you saw it. I had to take that thing down. It was disgusting. Again, not a full video. We didn't even get to say goodbye to each other. Didn't even get to tell you to like and subscribe and all that corny shit. So I had to take the video down. But now I've decided it was God telling me that I needed to do a live. We needed to talk. So here we are. So much going on for Chelsea right now in terms of this game against Malmö. I personally struggled to do the preview video. I don't know what to expect. I don't know what to plan for. Malmö, without disrespecting them, respectfully, they have been slapped from head to toe twice in this group by Zenit and by Juventus. They're top of the Swedish league by about 4 points, but I'm not going to come here and lie to you. As I said in my video, I'm not going to come here and lie to you and tell you that I have been analyzing Malmö. I'm not going to come and lie to you and tell you that I've been watching the Swedish league. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to tell you those lies. I have not been sitting in the stands with binoculars as a scout, secret scout, scouting Malmö. I'm not going to tell you I have. I really haven't. I really haven't been doing that. What I can tell you is that this is the kind of caliber of team, respectfully, that we will come up in the Europa League group stage. We should be packing these brothers in. We should be winning this game comfortably. If we're serious, if we're Champions League holders, we should be doing what Real Madrid did to Shakhtar tonight. They held them up by the scruff of their neck, by the collar, and they packed him in. That's what they did. It was violent. It was criminal. From Benzema, from Vinicius, from Modric, from the whole crew. We should be packing them in. But as you know, if you've been following Chelsea recently, we don't pack anybody in. We're quite conservative. We're quite, we're quite reserved. We can't seem to get out of this rut that we're in terms of the attacking football. We're not clicking. There is no chemistry. And that is a problem, because games like this, where you should be putting teams to the sword, where you should be comfortably winning, where you should be even leading, like a Manchester City did earlier tonight, they can bring on a Palmer. They can bring on a young player to come on, make their Champions League debut, get a goal. They're comfortably winning that game. 60 minutes gone. Job done. We move. That's what it should be for tomorrow for Chelsea at home. At Stamford Bridge against a Malmö team that have lost quite convincingly, by the way, to Zenit and to Juventus. But I can't tell you it's going to be like that. I would love to tell you. I would love to lie to you and sit here and tell you that it's going to be that easy, but I can't do it, because we are coming up against a team that are probably going to play 5 at the back. I've seen a few of their formation changes over the last few weeks in Sweden. They've played a back 4, probably because they're going to dominate most of those games. In the Champions League, they've played either a back 3 with a 5-man midfield, or they've played a back 5. Straight up. They've just said, I'm not even going to try and play games with you. I'm not even going to try and be, even try and be aggressive in this. We're coming here to defend. They're going to play defensive. They're going to set up a low block. They're coming to Stamford Bridge. We already know what this is. This is going to be a night where we have plenty of possession, where we are probably, I don't know if they're going to press, but I would be surprised if they press too far up the pitch, because they'll leave gaps in their defensive shape. They're going to sit back. They're going to come and they're going to hold, and they're going to say, break us down. And this is where Chelsea struggle time and time again to break a team down. And I know we're going to get into it. Formations, player selections. Do we go to the back 4? Tuchel. Let's start with Tuchel. Tuchel hinted today that he might change formation for the low blocks. He may start to tinker, like Tinkerbell, start to tweak. He may start to do these things. Now, for me personally, my opinion is of that. Just because you throw more chefs, more cooks in the kitchen, it doesn't mean that you're going to cook up a great meal. Do we have the ingredients? Do the players have the traits and the characteristics to do the business? That is the question I'm asking you. I don't know. I don't know. Personally, I wouldn't be too confident. But if you want to throw more attackers onto the pitch and you want to try it, go for it. In this kind of game, this is an opportunity to experiment. This is an opportunity to potentially throw in a back 4, throw in that extra attacker into the forward line and go from there. Do I think it's going to work? I'm not sure. But put in the chat what formation you guys would play in this game. Let's see what you guys are saying. But I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know if that's the way forward. I personally am very much like in the balance here. We've got our defensive structure. We know we don't concede many goals. To rip up that template to try and find the attack, it's a risk, because then you could lose the defense and then you still don't have the attack. And then what now? There's a lot of common traits and characteristics that you look for in a front 3 that we don't have right now. But let's go through the formations. Alex has gone 3-4-3. We've got a couple 4-2-3-1s, 3-4-3s. I'm going to give you the advantages and disadvantages of all these things. 3-4-3 again. 3-4-3, 4-4-2. Gus the Red Devil. I don't know. Sometimes you troll. Sometimes you like to troll. I don't know how seriously to take it whenever you put things in. You like to troll. But you're going 4-4-2 as a Man United fan. 3-4-3, 4-2-4. We're going 4s, 3s. Okay, it's quite a mixture. This game, first of all, if you're going to go 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3, we'll start with 4-3-3. That's what we're used to under Frank Lampard. That's what we're used to under Sarri. We're pretty familiar with that. I don't think we played a 4-2-3-1 consistently since, I want to go, the Oscar Hazard Mata days under Jose Mourinho. Would that be fair to say? I can't remember consistently playing that formation since then. So I'm going to stick with that, because Lampard went 4-3-3 with the attacking 8s, etc., etc. If you play a 4-3-3, Werner, who a lot of people in recent weeks, and I've agreed with you that, look, if you're not going to have Kai and Ziyech and your nonchalant players on form who are picking out their passes and are doing the magical things that they're meant to do, then it's better to have someone who's causing problems, making the right runs, disturbing the defensive shape with their erratic behavior. And as I said, the space creator, he's going to help Chelsea create more chances by default at the moment. That's just how it's been. He doesn't fit into the 4-3-3. We saw it under Frank Lampard when Werner played on the left wing. It was absolutely awful, diabolical. And it was getting to the point where I was saying, why is Hudson-Odoi or even, Pulisic? I'm going to go through, and this is going to go down memory lane right now. Pulisic was being shafted on the right wing at the early parts of the season because Werner was playing left wing, who is not a winger. Werner is not a winger. He can't go 1v1 with his dribbles. He's not a great crosser of the ball. You want Werner as close to the goal as possible. That's how he was at Leipzig. That's what he tends to be for Germany. Down the middle, in a two-striker formation. Sometimes he's on his own, like he was at Anfield. And we keep referencing this Anfield game where we was playing the High Line last season. We won at Anfield. Although he didn't score, he had a goal wrongfully chalked offside, I believe. It was like maybe a hair follicle offside. But he had a really good game. Up front, on his own, up against a high line. Against low blocks, I'm not trying to see that because there's a lot of characteristics and traits like hold up that he can't do. But on the left wing, you are taking him away from the goal, far, far away from the goal. And you're asking him to now travel with the ball against a low block where you have to beat people. You have to beat players like Eden Hazard did, dribble past players. He's not capable of doing that. He's not a dribbler. That's the one thing we're going to say right now is Werner is not a dribbler. He's not someone who can dribble past players from the left wing. He's not a crosser. He's not going to cross the ball into Lukaku. So he's not really a winger. Those are the first two traits for you look for in a winger. And then you also look for just general play, good first touch, good link-up play. I wouldn't say Werner's, a very, he's not really your interlinking kind of striker. That would be Giroud. So Werner at left wing doesn't work for me. It doesn't. So unless you guys are going with Hudson-Odoi out there, who even him 1v1 is a little bit, it's flattering to deceive right now. He hasn't really got back to that level that he was pre-injury where he was actually blitzing players 1v1. Hence why I ended up calling him the 1v1 demon and then getting trolled. Mistakes were made in the process. It happens. But Pulisic is injured and we're not going to talk about that right now. We'll get into that in a minute. And I want to have a conversation with you guys and I want to get your takes on Pulisic. I haven't spoken to you guys in a few weeks directly, so it's going to be interesting. But after saying all that, let me just read through some comments. 4-4-2, Georgie and Kante, still double pivot. Timo and Lukaku up front, so they still have that chemistry. And then Cho and Ziyech on the wings. Okay. That's no Loftus-Cheek, so you're taking Loftus-Cheek out. He's been good recently. But maybe you could say Loftus-Cheek would only play one game a week. We'd still look after him, protect him a little bit. Maybe. I don't know if that's the way you guys want to go with it, but you could make that argument that we shouldn't get ahead of ourselves and we should look after him and still, ease him in, and not just play him religiously every single game, which is fair enough. Yeah, Gus is definitely trolling when he's telling me Lukaku, DM and Loftus-Cheek and Barkley up top. Man, we'll just have to skim over them type of comments there. So we had Pulisic out right and we had Werner left. That didn't work. That legit did not work. So we ain't going to do that again. Now, Havertz. The issue with Kai's played right wing before. Remember, we spoke about Kai's versatility. He can play multiple positions. He can play wing. He can do this. He can do that. He can play 10. He can play false 9. Playing wing against Malmö, on the right wing, you shouldn't maybe have to do so much tracking back. I'm guessing if Reece James or Aspilicueta starts, they'll be fine, looked after. Against better opposition, then that would become a problem for Kai, playing right wing, because I don't know tracking back what he's going to give us. I really don't. I wouldn't bet on it. I wouldn't bet on his tracking back ability. It's not something that I've seen in 4K to be making conclusions on. But maybe in a game like this, you could say. Now, Tuchel in his presser seemed to want to give Kai the kick up the arse, where I'm not going to start you. You're going to fight for your place. And I kind of like that. And I'm a big fan of Kai. You guys know, out of all of the attacking signings we made, Kai was the one I was hell-bent on. I was saying, this guy is very talented. He's got a high trajectory. He's being talked about in Germany as the next big thing. And he's got so many good traits and characteristics. Again, even from a passing standpoint, I saw so much at Bayer Leverkusen from a passing standpoint that I haven't seen at Chelsea yet from Kai. I saw Kai walk in games in the Europa League for Leverkusen when Werner was Chelsea and he wanted to join Chelsea. And his head or his heart wasn't really in Bayer Leverkusen, but he was just walking games and still dropping 8 out of 10s. He's got the height. He can score headers. These things, we saw it against Liverpool. So many good traits and characteristics. I'm just like, you should be doing more than you're doing currently. You did good against Arsenal, you scored against Liverpool, but then you've tailed off. And I don't know if it's complacency or what it is, but I would like to see him fight for his place. I would, 100%. I would like to see him fight for his place, and I would like to see him have to really earn it, because I think he needs that. He's not in his he shouldn't be in his comfort zone. This is his second season. And I said it on Twitter. I likened it to Mason Mount's second season. Mason Mount in his first season got quite a bit of criticism for his final ball, which was fair. So many parts of his game he needed to improve. And to be fair to Mason Mount, whatever you think of him, he did improve in his second season. He was better, especially at the early part of the season under Lampard playing the number 8 role. He dropped deeper. He had really good performances in the 8 role. Then Tuchel comes in. He has to change position. Everybody thought it could be the end of him. No, to be fair to him, he got a lot of minutes. He adapted and he scored crucial goals against Porto. And I know Kai got the Champions League final goal, but again, that was a moment. It wasn't a good overall season for Kai, which is fine. It's his first season. But coming into your second season, if I was saying that Mason Mount needs to improve, I'm going to say Kai needs to improve as well. Mason Mount ended up getting Player of the Year. I need Kai to be in the conversation for Young Player of the Year. He's got too much ability, too much quality, too much projections and potential to not be in the conversation for Young Player of the Year. If Foden and Greenwood and all these guys are going to, why not Kai? For the money we paid, why not Kai? So that's what I need Kai to be working towards. That's what I need him to be improving. And I'm not worried about him long term, but I would like to see him fight for his place. So I personally wouldn't start Kai. Now, Lukaku, let me know in the comments, would you guys rest him or would you play him? I personally feel like he needs a goal. Desperately needs a goal. It's been, I think, 6 games without a goal now. Or maybe 7. I'm not sure if we're including the weekend. It's either 6 or 7. I personally think this is an opportunity for Lukaku to get a goal. So although in most situations I would rest him in a game like this, and remember we have Southampton in the cup, in the Carabao Cup, so maybe he could rest then. I think Lukaku needs a goal. I really do, guys. But let me know what you think about that in the comments. Let's see. CR London says Kai has a lot of qualities, but Fami has to improve. He does. 100% he does need to improve. Yeah, 100%. 100% he needs to improve. Even when he came on against Brentford, it wasn't a substitution that I liked, because I got it, though. Now that I really deep it, I do get the substitution. He brings height. We know that Kai can win headers in the box, and we were getting a lot of aerial balls into the box. Brentford were going long. They were throwing balls up into the air. They were going for knockdowns. They were going for wide crosses. They were, deeper wide crosses. They were going for corners, set pieces, long throws. So I understood bringing on Kai, getting that extra height on so we can clear those headers, because we were struggling in the air a little bit. Malong Sarr's not the tallest defender. Sometimes he was getting beaten in the air, and then there were knockdowns, and then there were shots being saved by Mendy, and all this madness that was going on. We needed some height in the team. I personally was looking more towards the Jorginho side of things, where we brought on Jorginho away to Arsenal. We brought on Jorginho away to Leicester, where we were struggling to gain control in the games. And then he comes on, he gets us possession, starts ticking us over, and we start to put the ball on the floor, and we start to play it about. Some people say that game was not for Jorginho. It was too physical. Fair enough. Some people say, maybe we should have brought on someone a bit more tenacious if we're going to bring on an attacker, because Kai, the ball went up to him one time and he just easily shrugged off. And I'm thinking to myself, listen, man, we've gone long to you. You've only been on for a couple of minutes. You got to have the energy. You got to hold up that ball and shrug people off. Now he's a little bit of a lightweight in terms of his physical build. Like, he's quite lanky. He's not very strong. So, he can get pushed over a little bit easier. It's a physical league. But I feel like the turnovers for me they were very annoying to have the ball just keep coming back at us. I don't like to see Chelsea defending in such a chaotic, erratic way. That felt like Barcelona away at the Nou Camp in the semi-final when it was Brentford. And I told you it was going to be a difficult game against Brentford, but I wasn't expecting Barcelona-type defending. This was not the Champions League semi-final with Iniesta and Messi and Xavi. This was still a game that we should be able to, okay, let's get our foot on the ball and let's start trying to control things here a little bit if we can for at least 5-10 minutes and calm things down and not have to, put bodies on the line and clear the ball off the line and all of this kind of stuff. Vinicius had a really good night tonight. Someone just said that in the chat. Vinicius had an incredible night tonight, man. I said, a couple seasons he's been a bit inconsistent in my opinion in terms of his finishing, but yeah, this season he's really gone up. Tonight was a real eye-opener. He's developed big time. Tonight was mad. 6 games it's been. Okay. So some people are saying 6, some people are saying 7. Victor said 7, Tiz says 6. Whatever it's been, Lukaku hasn't scored in a few games, and it's certainly something that we need to look at. So I would like to see Lukaku start just for the fact that I want to see him get a goal. Let's see. Ams is saying the same thing. He's saying I'd start Rom, let him get a goal or two, then take him off for Kai 50, 60 minutes if the game is done. Yeah, that's kind of how I see it. I think right now we're having a little issue that people did bring up pre-season. How are Kai and Lukaku going to play together? Now, if you remember the early games against Arsenal and you remember, when we beat Arsenal quite well, and I think, they both had good games. Lukaku, as we expect, as the Inter Milan days would suggest, he would drift, and the Everton days and the Belgium days where he scored against France there over the international break. Lukaku's going to play in the right channel. He's going to play right side of the forward line, and he's going to look to cut in on his left foot. And he did that at Everton to a lot of success. Roberto Martinez has managed him twice now at club level and international level. He's going to tell you that, he's going to want to go in those right half spaces, running behind and then cutting on his left foot. Did it a lot at Inter Milan, did it for Belgium, scored against France, right foot, smashed it. Great finish. Now, Kai is left-footed as well. Those are the kind of areas he liked to operate in last season. But this season against Arsenal, if you looked at Kai's average position, he was actually on the left of the attack. Mason Mount was on the right, and Kai was dropping in deep. Now, I don't know if Kai can play that left attacking forward role. Again, this is a guy that's meant to be very versatile, but it seems like his positions and Rom positions are overlapping a little bit. The best we've seen of Kai has been in a false nine. He can't play false nine if Lukaku's playing up front. So there's a little issue there that Chelsea need to solve in getting their two big mega money signings, of the last 2 summers in the same team and making it work. Worked for a couple games that we can say, but it hasn't worked to a larger scale that we're looking for. So that's a little technical issue that Tuchel's got to sort out if he's going to get those two in the team. I've always said as well, I said it on Big Six, we've got to be patient in terms of Tuchel. He's turned a lot of water into wine. He's improved a lot of players. He's literally, brought back so many individuals. He's brought Kepa back to a good level. Loftus-Cheek is now playing really well as well after a pretty poor loan at Fulham. They wanted to play him right wing. Madness. He's a midfielder. But can he revive everybody? Listen, in Fortnite, I never played the game, but apparently you only revived your favorites. so I don't know if Tuchel's going to go up reviving everybody. I don't think he's got enough juice. And that's not even a disrespect. I just don't think man can revive every single brother. He didn't sign a lot of these guys. He didn't sign Ziyech. He didn't sign Pulisic. He might not be able to revive everyone. Do you know what I mean? Somebody's going to die. Somebody's going to have to die. Just exit the game early. That might be what it is. So we'll have to see. But if he can't revive them, I'm not going to blame him. Because you look at Oli, you look at Pep, you look at Klopp, the other top managers. Oli's not a top manager. The other managers at top clubs, they got to buy their own attackers. They got to buy their own teams. They put together their own teams. Let's remember this and get this very clear. You're not going to see me on this channel putting mad pressure on Tuchel, even if we go through a bad run, because this brother's shown that he can deliver with another man's players. So you wait for him to get his own players in before you really start coming down on him. That's the logic I'm following, because everybody else has been able to get their own players in. Pep's even got a Bravo and kicked him out and got another goalkeeper. They've even been able to turn it over twice. This guy is using somebody else's squad. So let's remember that. He's using another man's attackers. And they're talented, but they're not his. If you think about it, Saul might play. I don't know if Saul Niguez will play because, again, I know this should be a foregone conclusion, but don't forget, we just lost to Juventus. We have 3 points. We need to win this game. And we should. But they're playing a back five, and you know how it gets at Chelsea. If things get sticky, icky, 0-0, goes on 60, 70 minutes, the crowd starts to get restless. It's a mad thing. We need to win this game. If we don't win this game, this group gets very, very problematic very quickly. So, although I think he'll make changes and he'll rotate, there's still got to be a base level of, I need some reliable brothers in here. And Saul is a bit shaky at the moment. He hasn't got much game time under his belt, and it's been a rough start for him. But some people are saying rest Lukaku, which is fair enough. No mention of Ziyech so far. I don't plan on mentioning him too much in this stream. I got criticized on Twitter for mentioning him too much. I'm going to try and keep my mouth shut. There's so much to talk about, guys. This is gonna be a good stream. We've got so much to talk about. There was so much to unpick and dissect in that press conference alone. There's so much that United pundits have been talking about that we haven't even discussed together yet with Scholes and Neville giving their verdicts. There's so much to go through. We're going to try and get through all of it. So that's why it's good to have this stream. I'm not overhyping Brentford, Gus. I think you guys are underestimating how good Brentford are. Like, ask Liverpool fans, ask West Ham. It's not an easy game. Yeah, and I think when you face them, you're going to see. You're going to see. It's really difficult. Brentford are, they're new. You know what it's like when you got new cereal on the shelf? You don't know what to do. Do you try it? You just leave it there. What do you do? No one knows how to deal with them. It's very similar to Sheffield United with the overlapping centre backs when they came up under Wilder. It's very similar to Leeds. It's very similar to Blackpool, even though they got relegated. Like, these teams that come up from the Championship and have got the kahunas to do a madness, you don't know what to do with these teams. They're unpredictable. But Brentford set themselves up very well. A lot of credit needs to go to Thomas Frank. He started the season very, very well for them. So those are my issues with the 4-3-3. I mean, Loftus-Cheek, he definitely suits that formation. Mason Mount suits that formation in the midfield. I just spoke about Mason Mount in the 8. Loftus-Cheek, we remember the days under Sarri. He's been showing that. And in fact, if you look at Loftus-Cheek's last interview with Chelsea TV, I believe he said that he had to hold back. He had to be a bit reserved, pick his times to go because he's in a pivot. You put him in a 3, his license to go forward with those mazy runs is going to be, it's gonna be expanded. He's gonna get more opportunities to do that. So the 3 in midfield would suit those guys really well. But I don't think it suits Werner. Against better opposition, I don't think it suits Kai unless he goes up front. But let's know Lukaku. It might suit Ziyech on the right wing. A lot of you guys have been saying, Ziyech right wing. You want to see it. Maybe Reece James overlapping. So that's another way you could go with that one as well. And for the guys that said 4-2-3-1, who would play 10? If you're playing 4-2-3-1, let me know in the chat who is playing 10, because I'm struggling here. Who would play 10? I'm thinking about Juan Mata right now, when we used to have him in his prime. I can't think of who should play 10 because you guys are already going to say Ziyech is a right winger, which is fair enough. Scholes was not speaking facts. You're just trolling now. Now you're really trolling. You've lost it. I will give you my lineup football style. Not to worry. All right, now I'm just discussing the different options, but I will give you my lineup, and then we'll all converse lineups and see who's going with what. Some people are saying Loftus-Cheek. I personally prefer when Loftus-Cheek starts deeper. I don't want Loftus-Cheek to start higher up the pitch. I think I remember saying this with Nini on the stream when we was on this channel together. I don't like to see Loftus-Cheek waiting for the ball to receive it and turn. I want Loftus-Cheek to be the person that takes it there. He's the person that takes it from the second phase to the last phase. He's press resistant. He can shield the ball. He takes it from deep and he carries it to the attack. He's the link. If you're waiting, again, it's like for me, it's like restricting and telling someone with so much energy like a Kante to play holding midfield. I was never a fan of it. If you've got someone who's got the ability to carry the ball, why put them in a confined, close space where they're probably man-marked by a DM and ask them to work in very tight spaces? I'd rather him create space by bursting into the attacking midfield and taking players out of the game by dribbling past them, gliding past them, and then that opens up more space for others. That's how I see Loftus-Cheek. It's like playing Kova in Cam. Now, the only difference is that obviously Loftus-Cheek maybe as a goal threat might be a bit more polished, but again, we haven't seen too many goals because he's only just come back. But I don't see Loftus-Cheek as like that little Juan Mata, Ozil creative midfielder who's going to pick out little passes and dink things over the defensive line and do that. I see Loftus-Cheek as the guy who comes in, brick on skates, starts bouldering brothers left and right, and creates space for others. And then he plays the simple pass. And sometimes he does his creativity through creating gaps and dragging people out of position and his dribbling, but then he'll play a simple pass and he'll give it to then someone else. That's kind of how I see Loftus-Cheek. I don't really see him as this guy who's gonna like do what Modric did tonight for Vinicius's goal. And I'm sure he's capable, but on a regular basis, I just don't see him as that type of midfielder. Oscar, let's see. So yeah, 4-3-3. I mean, it's an interesting one. This super chat says, appreciate it, bro. Do you think a formation of 4-2-3-1 with Mount, Havertz, Pulisic behind Lukaku will get the best out of the team? So who's playing where? You're going Pulisic left, Kai in the 10, Mount on the right, or is it Kai on the right? I'm guessing Kai on the right, Mount in the 10. I don't know if Mount's a 10. either. I don't think he is, personally. I think he's more of an 8 or a wide 10. I do like Mount when he gets into the channels and he starts to take up those positions just to the right. I've spoken about it so many times. When he gets into the right channel, the right half space, and he's maybe on the edge of the box, or he's just trying to cut into the box with a bit of dribbling, I think he can be quite good with his close control there. But again, is he going to be the guy that you play through? That's a different question. Is he going to be the guy to pick out that pass in those tight spaces? That's been a criticism of Mount, if anything, that his final ball needs to improve. So is he really a 10? In my opinion, probably not. So that's the issue with the 4-2-3-1, as you can tell already. Who's going to be the 10? Who is going to be the 10? Because you're playing through them, you know? They're linking everything up. They're the hub. They're the home. I think Mount is an 8. Or wide. I like him in the wide 10 as well. Sometimes, but I think his best position is an 8. But I think wide 10, he's grown. But again, even in the wide 10, sometimes we're like final ball, finishing. Come on, let's get some goals. Let's improve the goals. So, you know, that's the issue. Let's see. Comments. So yeah, that's my issues with. I just don't think the team it's not quite there for the back four yet. I think we could try it in a game like this and maybe it will work. But I don't know if we have the right profiles for it. Because I've said it before. And in terms of the attacking midfielders, who has the killer pass in this team? Who has the killer pass in the attacking midfield areas? No one. No one really has. And I'm putting them up with De Bruyne, Pogba, because that's the level of players that we're going up against in terms of killer passes in this league to win this league. Nobody has that level of pass in them, in this attacking midfield. And that's actually a worry. Who's shooting from range? Nobody. It was meant to be Ziyech, maybe, but nobody's really shooting from range like that. Mount's got some good technique, but not enough goals to really say that he's going to be a reliable goal threat from range. Loftus-Cheek did a thing against Brighton, I'm sure you'll remember. Hazard, they both mirrored it. Shape up, you know what I mean? Little top corner thing. But again, not reliable. So no long distance shooters and only one dribbler maybe in Pulisic. Hudson-Odoi if he finds himself again with that. But he hasn't been playing left wing to even be maybe doing that. Barkley's probably the only 10 we have, if I'm being honest. That's a shout. But do we really want to put your hopes up on Barkley like that? For a title push? Again, if this is just for this game, maybe. But I don't know, man. It just feels like we're regressing. I'm not going to lie to you. You already know what it is. Like, I feel like when you're mentioning, no disrespect, when you're mentioning players like Barkley coming back into it again, after getting chance after chance after chance after chance after chance since he's moved from Everton, and he's inconsistent. Sometimes he's good. He can take shots from outside the box. Again, both-footed with his shots. So in terms of the characteristics that I'm looking for here, he actually has a few of them. He had potential, but feels like we've been waiting. And he shouldn't really actually be here. It's only because no club came in for him. Barkley's not really meant to be here. So do you want to really lynch your hopes on him for a title push when Liverpool are moving the way they're moving? I don't think so. Maybe in a game like this, if you want to try it, but I don't know, man. Barkley's got... I mean, you saw the pass he played for Azpilicueta. It was a brilliant pass to set up Werner for the goal against Southampton. Brilliant pass. That's the type of pass I'm talking about. He's got a shot. He can shoot with both feet from distance. Another thing I've just been asking for. He can do that. Barkley was at his best, like we saw in the Everton days. This is the guy. This is the kind of profile you're talking about. But it's buts and maybes. There's not really many absolutes here, people. So this is a problem. Appreciate the super chat. Man, am I just saying, no, don't start this shit again. We're not doing that. We're not doing... Man, never mentioned Barkley and half the chat have lost their mind. Oh my goodness. Man, I'm crucifying this idea. They're like, nah. 14 different scorers, and half of those are defenders. Minimum half. Trevor Chalobah, Thiago Silva, I think, has scored. Rudiger's scored. Alonso, Chilwell, Reece James. Has Azpilicueta scored? I think he has. I think Christensen's probably the only one that hasn't. So we're talking about half of the goal scorers that you've just spoken about there are defenders. And then Kova, I'm sure Jorginho is tucked in a penalty if you're including that as well. So that's the pivot. There's not many attackers on that list. 14 different goal scorers, but only Lukaku has more than 2 goals this season. So what does that tell you? We don't have any reliable goal scorers. I'm not trying to see the goals. I want to see the goals shared out amongst the attack, like it is for Liverpool a bit. Mane will get in. Firmino will get a hat-trick. Jota will chip in. That's what I want to see. When I said after Hazard, let's share the workload, I meant in the attack. I didn't mean everybody in the whole team, because that means the attackers are not scoring enough, quite evidently. That's the issue here. So you're overdoing it now. You're asking defenders to defend and score goals. We are at the moment asking defenders to chip in with goals and defend. And I don't mind. Again, it's lovely to see defenders chipping in with the odd goal from a corner, etc. But when over half of your goal scorers are defenders, I don't know about all that. I don't know about all of that. You know, if we're talking about expectations at the start of the season, how many goals and assists did you expect from Werner, from Kai, from Ziyech, from Pulisic, from Mount, from Lukaku? Your tallies are going to be, 10-10 minimum, I'd say, for all of those guys. If you're having a good season, 10 goals, 10 assists in all comps, right? Should that not be the floor? That should be the standard. If you're going to have a good season and you're consistently starting in our front three as a team that are chasing the Champions League and the Premier League, 10-10. That's the minimum. That should be the floor. Get 10 assists and get 10 goals in all competitions. That is the bare minimum. What at the moment, who's hitting 10 goals right now? It's do you know what I mean? Like, it's rough. Some of these brothers ain't scored yet. we're in mid-October. Some of them ain't scored yet. Some of them have legit not scored yet. It's nuts. Pulisic scored, but then he dipped. He scored against Palace, and all right, bye guys. All right, see you in a bit. See you man in a bit. Do you know what I mean? Because obviously the US did a madness with him. It's rough, man. It's rough out here in these streets with the goals, guys. Like, we don't know where our next goal's coming from. That's what it is. It's like not knowing where your next meal's coming from. It's rough on these streets. We have nobody to depend on, nobody to rely upon. Nobody is bringing the bacon home. That is the problem. We don't know where the next goal is coming from. We're searching. Liverpool don't have this issue. And I know they've been playing together for a longer time period, of course. There's chemistry there. But just as an example as who we're going up against in this title race, they don't have this issue. Someone will score out of those 3, out of those 4, because Jota's been very reliable for them. He's been a fantastic signing, fantastic person to challenge that front 3 and impact when needed. This is the issue for me, is that we don't know who's scoring tomorrow. Like, we know that we should be beating Malmö and we know we should be dominating. But if I ask you who's scoring, you'll be like, I don't know. I mean, someone, innit? I hope. You don't know who, though. And that's my issue. If this was Liverpool, they tell you Salah. Look at Salah tonight. Skip past 2, 3, 4 players. Cut in, bang, goal. That's what I'm talking about. In a title race, and I'm only saying this because look at the title winners before us. Look at our title wins. Go back to the evidence of when we last won our title with Conte, Diego Costa. Diego Costa, Eden Hazard, and Fabregas. That was your trio in terms of reliability for chance creation, for goals. You're getting 20 goals from Costa. You're getting so many assists from Fabregas, and you're getting so many chances created from Hazard. That's the reliability I'm talking about. And that's just 3 players. I've always said on here, I'm only asking for 3 brothers. I'm not looking for the whole team to do the bits. I'm just looking for 3 brothers in a front 3 to tell me I'm here. I'm ready to do the business. I'm ready to stand up and give you this amount of output consistently. I don't care who it is. I don't care if Ziyech is that one of them three, Pulisic, Hudson-Odoi, Mount, Havertz, Werner. I don't care. But I'm just saying 3 people stand up, put your hand up. Put your hand up if you want to contribute. 3 people. That's what I'm asking. 3 people out of maybe 7 options. 3 people. Even Pedro, that's a fantastic shout. Pedro in that title-winning season was a fantastic outlet for goals. He really did bring some crucial goals. If you remember the goal against Tottenham at home, I believe, and many others. He was a very good, very underrated finisher. Coming towards the end of his career, but he was a very reliable finisher. This is what I'm talking about, people, in terms of reliability, availability, and reliability, consistency. These 3 things. This is what we're looking for here in a title race, because this is the difference now. Because between winning a Champions League, this is the difference between winning a Champions League and winning a Premier League. Because in a Champions League, it's knockout football. And on the day, as long as you do the business on the day, you can get through. And it's very, 6-7 games and bang, you're there. League is 38 games. And since 2017, Chelsea have been finishing 4th every season. So that's why I can sit here and comfortably say we need to sort out so many things. I know we're top of the league, but it's not. And I said it to Man United fans when they finished second. Not every second is equal. Liverpool finishing second with 90 plus points and losing out to Manchester City by a few points is not the same as Manchester United finishing second last season with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. It's not. It's the same position. It's not the same second. Chelsea being top of the league right now, and Chelsea being top of the league under Carlo Ancelotti, it's not the same thing. 4th, 3rd, yeah. But clinging on for dear life for top 4 is the point. That's not the same thing. When we were blitzing teams like Wigan 8-0 and it was starting to get criminal and people were calling the police and saying, yo, Anelka, Drogba, Malouda, this is a bit out of hand. Would you stop, please? Because these people have families to go home to. It's not the same as what we're doing right now. So this is what I'm trying to say, is that there's things that need to be improved. But back up onto tomorrow. So those are my issues with the 4 at the back thing. But again, I've said it does bring into a few players like Loftus-Cheek, like Mason Mount into the 3-man in midfield. But it doesn't suit everybody. It doesn't suit Werner. It doesn't suit a few people. But let's talk about who I would start. I mean, for me personally, I don't think I would change formation. But at the same time, if you guys do want to play a 4 in this game, I can understand it's an opportunity maybe to experiment. I just don't think changing formation with the same players changes a whole pile. I really don't. I think there's characteristics and traits that even need to be improved in training, because I see opportunities for good, attacking play. I see against Brentford in the first half opportunities to play a pass, and we just don't do it because they don't have that Fabregas vision to play the pass early for Werner, who's making a run, for Lukaku, who's making a run. That's nothing to do with the system. That's just down individual on the ball is not good enough in attack. There's opportunities to create opportunities, but they're not doing it. And I think that's down to the profile, not the system, mainly. But if you disagree, I understand, and you can go with your 4 at the back in this game, and I'd like to see it. Let's see how it goes. But for me, I would go Mendy. I said in my video before I had to delete it that I would reintroduce Rudiger. I think Malong Sarr can play this game as well. I mean, he played well at the weekend. I still think aerially, he had a few issues. If you watch it back in the last 15, 20 minutes, look, everyone was always going to struggle airily. We didn't have Thiago Silva. We didn't have Rudiger, so it's fair enough. And it was a very difficult game to come into. So I'm very sympathetic for Sarr. I'm very impressed that we kept a clean sheet and that he put in that performance. To come into that game with barely any minutes played against a physical Brentford team who are thriving off knockdowns, throw-ins, it's difficult. So I wasn't expecting him to just win every header, etc. But we did struggle in that regard. But I think he can play in this game if Rudiger maybe needs more time to get up to speed. But it seems like Rudiger's back in the training. So Rudiger could start, Sarr could start. I don't mind too much. But I think it seems like he's back up to speed, Rudiger. Christensen could go down the middle. I don't know where Silva is with this quarantine thing. It's all a bit ridiculous, but Christensen could definitely play in the middle. And I think Trevor Chaloba's earned the right to play again on the right as well. Personally, for me, I'm going 3-4-3. I'm going 3-4-3. But if you want to go 4 at the back, lay it on me. Put your teams in the comments and I'll read them out. I'm going 3-4-3. Wing backs, I'm going Chilwell and I'm going Reece James. I'm leaving Aspie out of this one. So Silva and Rudiger are available, safe monster. So Silva's back. Do we need Silva in a game like this? I don't know. He's again, it's all about looking after the guy. I would probably leave him out of a game like this. Rudiger, probably start him, but Sarr could start as well. Midfield, pivot, I'd probably go Jorginho. I want to play Loftus-Cheek, but I'm also partly like maybe one game a week for Loftus-Cheek as well, just because I'm so nervous. I know he hasn't picked up an injury in a long time, but I still want to look after him. I want the medium to long term to be good for him. I'm not just trying to see Loftus-Cheek make impact right now in a short space of time and then something mad happens and then, you know what I mean? So maybe it's an opportunity to bring in a Kante, get him some match fitness next to a Jorginho, and leave Loftus-Cheek for Norwich at the weekend. And then I'd probably go Mason Mount, Hudson-Odoi and Lukaku up top. I don't think Kai, I wouldn't start Kai. I think Kai, I think what Tuchel's going to do is make him fight for his position. I like that. Ziyech, doesn't seem to be working in this system. That's maybe the one guy that you can say he definitely needs the four at the back. He needs that back. But if I'm not going with it, then, it doesn't really make sense to keep going with him in this system that he seems to be struggling in. And Sao Niguez, I'd say, listen, we still need to win this game. So I'm going to say Sao Niguez comes off the bench, 60 minutes. Hopefully we wrap things up. I want this game to be wrapped up. I want to see what Man City did to Club Brugge. 60 minutes wrapped up, Palmer comes on. That's what I would like to see. So then we can bring on Sao Niguez. So then we can rest this, that, and the third. Bring on Kai. Do what you want. We got 5 subs, remember. I want this game wrapped up. I don't want to get to 60 minutes on this watch along tomorrow and be like, we're only like 1-0 up, or it's 0-0, and I'm starting to get nervous. I want this game wrapped up. No disrespect to Malmö, but they did get their butt cheeks clapped to Zenit and to Juventus. So we should be doing the same, people. I want this game wrapped up. And I know I'm asking for a lot because Chelsea don't like to do this, but I want this game wrapped up and I want it comfortable. So that's what I'm hoping for. Whether it happens or not, whether it happens is a whole different situation. It's a whole other situation. So that's what my hope is. Let me know in the comments, though, what your team would be. But there's so many topics to get through. Look, I mean, Tuchel, if we're going to talk about Pulisic, he is in the thumbnail. He did talk about Pulisic. He said that he picked up an extra knock in that, he was coming back and then he had a setback and then he picked up another knock and he's feeling a little something and then he can't come back. Look, at this point, you've seen the statistics on Twitter. If you're on Twitter, the amount of games that Pulisic has missed. You saw me freak out when he was out for 10 days. It's now 40 days. Yeah. So listen, it's not my first rodeo with Pulisic. So when I see 10 days, I know 20. If I see 14 days, I know 28. I just double it, innit? Double or nothing. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't play these games. I just go with, I'd rather with Pulisic at this point, prepare for the worst than, believe in these time frames that we get. And then when it doesn't happen, start to cry and shit myself. I'd rather just double it. Double or nothing. You know what I mean? When you're in a casino, just double or nothing, man. Because I didn't win enough money to sit here. I didn't win enough money to take that home. Just double it or nothing. I'm not asked for the nonsense. So for me personally, you've seen the statistics. I don't have them because I just didn't bother bringing them. I'm not doing a CS. I'm not doing an FBI investigation with a chalkboard and coming with diagrams and shit. I'm not doing that with Pulisic. You know what it is. If you want to check it out, it's all over Twitter. Statistics, games missed, rare tear. We haven't seen him since Palace when he scored. That's all I'm saying. Now, this is a make or break for me. In my opinion, there's quite a few attacking midfielders in terms of, you want to see what Werner's bringing this year. You want to see what Ziyech is bringing. You want to see what Pulisic is bringing. These guys, even Hudson-Odoi. If Hudson-Odoi doesn't have a good year, I want Hudson-Odoi to leave on loan or go with a buyback because I want to see him playing football and playing well. So it's a make or break year for all these guys, in my opinion. I think Kai and Mount are just a little bit ahead in terms of Kai was such a big investment that he's not going anywhere and Mount got player of the year. So I think those guys have got a lot more leeway than the names I've just mentioned. But I need to see Pulisic on the pitch. I can't judge you. And again, he's going to be inconsistent anyway because he's a young player. We're cool. That's understandable. You're 22. But if you're not on the pitch, not only are you inconsistent when you're playing, you're now only playing 50% of the time as the other inconsistent players. So it's a whole madness. So there's nothing else to say on Pulisic. I'm regurgitating. I'm saying the same shit I always say. Just hurry up and get well soon, man. And hopefully we see you in the team. I feel sorry for him because One thing I'll never do, and I've stuck up for Pulisic's ability on this channel many a time with Toby on London Club's Carnage. So for anybody who wants to come at me and say, oh, you don't rate him, no, you're in the wrong place. I rate him. It's why I'm so frustrated that he's not available. Remember, think about it like this, and I say this all the time. If I didn't rate him, I wouldn't really, you're not available. Pish posh, we move. Why would I be complaining every week if I didn't rate you and you're not available? Why would I be complaining? No disrespect. If Drinkwater was still here and he wasn't on loan at Reading, if you're injured, get well soon, talk to the medics. Bro, I'm not waiting for you to come back. It's not that deep. You're not affecting me like that. So if I rate you, I want you in the team. So you being injured pisses me off. That makes sense. 1 + 1 is 2. So I've always defended his ability. But if we're going to see him reach his potential and be consistently on the level that we saw in, playoff Pulisic mode, then he has to be fit. And if he's not fit, he will never be consistent. The two do not go hand in hand. It's very rare you're going to get an Iron Robin at Chelsea where you're injured, come in, bang. Injured, come in, bang. That just doesn't happen most of the time. Most of the time, you need minutes. When he gets injured on transfer market, it says 4 weeks. But then either side, on the other side of that 4 weeks is 5, 6, 7 days, 2 games where you're still getting back up to fitness. So that's an extra week where we didn't get you at your peak. Do you see what I'm saying? So this is the frustration. I'd love to interview his dad on this channel. I've done a lot of interviews on here, Gab Marcotti, you name it. I've had a lot of really high profile people on here. Thank God. It's been a blessing. I'd love to interview his dad, but I'd understand if he wouldn't want to be interviewed right now because his son is injured. So he knows that he's not in form. So it's not an easy interview because I'm asking the tough questions if he's on there. I'm asking about injury prone. I'm asking about availability and ability. I'm asking about these things. I can't sit here and not. I've got too many questions. I need to know why. What's going on? What are we doing here? How does this get better? Are you worried? Are you as worried as I am? But I'd understand if he's not. Look, he's not going to want to probably talk about stuff like that. So it's understandable. I know he's done podcasts previously. Probably not going to want to have these discussions. So that's where I'm at with Pulisic. And what else did Tuchel mention today? I can't remember. I think they asked him some other silly questions that had nothing to do with the game. I can't remember, so I'm just going to move on. I think that was the bulk of it, in my opinion. Let me go through the chat. Let me just see. I think I've seen some questions. Do you think Loftus-Cheek can be like Goretzka? I think Loftus-Cheek, I get where you're coming from. He's got the same physique. He's a very strong guy, very press resistant, very light on his feet, though. It's why I say brick on skates, because although he's, tanked up, he's gliding, he's very light on his feet. He's very good at weaving in and out of players and whatnot. So he's a little bit different to Goretzka. I don't really see them as the same. They don't really move the same. But I get what you're saying. I'm not really trying to compare Loftus-Cheek to other people. I don't like it when we do this. There was times where people were comparing Loftus-Cheek to Pogba. Don't do that. He's not Pogba. He's not as good as Pogba. Let's not do that. Let's just enjoy Loftus-Cheek for what he's doing right now as a player. And let's wait for him to have a full, because again, although he's doing well, he's never had a full season at Chelsea where we can say, bish, bosh, bish, bosh. This season, Loftus-Cheek did that. Here's his statistics, goals and assists. Not even just goals and assists, whatever you want to go through statistically, eye test wise, full season. Here's how we're marking him. Then we can bring that to the table at the end of the season. We have never had a full season of Loftus-Cheek. Under Sarri, he came in around February, March. Now we just started. Everything else is either a Palace loan or playing out wide for Fulham or not fit. So I'm not doing no comparisons. I'm just enjoying it. And that's it. That's the way I think we should go about it. Because he, at his age, still not a full season, playing at the level we know he can play to, that's mad. So let's wait for a full season. What else is being said in here? Let's see what's going on. January. I'm not going to talk too much about January transfer window just because there's so much other stuff to talk about. I'd rather talk about January transfer window with journalists again, like we had before from The Athletic or whatever in January when the transfer window opens. So I'm going to wait until then to really talk about it. Maybe around Christmas time, we could talk about it even more. But someone just interrogating the dad, bro. I need to talk to somebody about Pulisic who knows Pulisic now. I'm just talking from a fan perspective, but I don't know Pulisic. you know what I'm saying? That's the problem. So that's where now I need expertise on Pulisic. I want to have a full video on Pulisic with somebody who is on the inside and knows him. I want insight. I want to learn. That's what I want because I rate the player. You know, I was doing Pulisic propaganda on Twitter, hashtag Pully propaganda. I was doing it for a long ass time. I can't do it if you're not playing. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I could do it, but I'm also not going to pretend like as if I'm not worried. I'm not going to just blindly back someone who I am worried about in terms of his fitness. I can't do it. I'm worried. I'd be lying to you if I told you I'm not worried. Let's see this. This looks like a good one. 4-3-3 suits Cho, Ziyech, Mount. 3-4-3 suits Werner. Somewhat Havertz in my eyes. Yep. Yeah, I completely agree with that. Yep. 100%. Loftus-Cheek, at the moment, you could say suits the 4-3-3 and maybe even this one as well right now. And the pivot is looking good. So, yeah. Again, this is the issue when Chelsea have a high turnover of managers, formations, playing profiles, styles, counter-attacking football to possession-based football. You end up with a squad that play two different formations. Look at Manchester City. They're all in unison. They're all in unity, right? Because they most of them were bought under the same manager. They all play one brand of football. There's a few outliers in there, but most of the guys are equipped. Liverpool, again, longevity with Klopp. They all suit one system, one ideology, one direction. Chelsea, we got wing backs, full backs, DMs, deep line playmakers, inside forwards, second strikers, out and out wingers, lone strikers that can play in a two. Like, fuck me, bro. I'm tired. You know what I'm saying? It's long. And this is why I'm so not on this whole Tuchel. Like, Tuchel's, it's difficult because all these guys just belong to different systems, man. It's long. They're not, even though we want the Champions League, like in terms of the attack, the defense are fine. We're not talking about the defense. The defense, they've found their system, they found their foundation, they're sorted. But in terms of the attack, which Champions League or no Champions League, the attack is a problem. It's been a problem. It was a problem in the Champions League. Should have beat Real Madrid at the Bernabeu or at their training ground, 3 or 4-0 in the first half. But the attack was like, not having it, mate. No, thank you. Then we draw 1-1. So the attack just belonged to too many systems, too many different principles, and it's long. It's a headache. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, man. I mean, Pogba just passes, again, I've said it before, the way Pogba's passing range, we just don't have anybody in the squad who can pass like that. So I'm not going to make no comparisons with him. Let's see what Mandem are saying. I think 3-4-3 will be our go-to formation because we need stability to fall back on. Yeah, I agree. But having flexibility to not be predictable is also a good idea, which I think he'll resolve. Yeah. I mean, listen, Tuchel's worked in different formations. At PSG, he played a back four. So at Dortmund, he played, I think, a bit of both. I know he definitely played with Pulisic at right mid in a 3-4-3 or something like that at a time. So he knows how to use these different formations. But again, it's how much are you willing to sacrifice to go into the unknown to see what this attack can do and compromise the defense. That's what you have to ask yourself, because right now we're top of the league and there's so many things we could improve on, but there's so many things we're good at. Let's not forget that. This defense is solid. This defense is, very, very, very solid and a bit impenetrable at times. Now, obviously, Brentford, we know what happened, but most of the time they do their thing. So do you want to tamper with that? Do you want to risk losing that to get some of the attack? I know you got to, because we need to improve the attack, but at the same time, like I said, it's that balance. And that's what Tuchel's struggling with right now. He's trying to find that balance. You don't want to just go from being defending to now attacking, and just like, you need to find the balance. And once you do that, that's when you put together serious title challenges where you can sustain the season. Because now, on the off day, the defense is not doing well, the attack will bail them out. On the off day, the defense is, the attack is not doing well, the defense will bail them out. But if you can't find, right now, our attack is not ever bailing out our defense. It just doesn't happen. That's where we're at right now. So we need to just slightly move the needle over to the middle, not all the way to the other side. So that's what we're at right now. Someone said Tuchel out, Ollie in. Don't make me sick. Jesus. Mendy, I've been on a rant for the past few days on social media about giving this brother his flowers. I even purchased flowers from Sainsbury's. I know they were only £5, but I did purchase them flowers to use in a video to literally give him his flowers. That's how much this brother needs the credit. The performance that he put in against Brentford, he is, for me, he is the sole reason we picked up the 3 points. I'm not giving anybody the same amount of praise as I'm giving Mendy. It's not happening. Mendy is here, and the rest of the team kind of like there in terms of that game. He's getting just say the 3 points was on him. Do you know what I'm saying? It was that much of a performance. Talk about Lukaku. I think Lukaku right now we're struggling because not only are we not providing the service, like I said, there's times where runs are being made and we don't execute the pass quickly enough because we don't have the vision or the execution or the technique. But also because he is an out-and-out striker, his pressing is not of the level of our fluid front three of last season. So we've sacrificed a little bit of our press, which enabled us to win the ball high up the field and create chances in situations where we wasn't coming up against a low block. I've said it on stream. How many times am I doing a watch along where, come on now, Chelsea, counter-attack. Take advantage of the space in behind. Don't slow everything down. And then we get the ball and we pass it about. And then we're up against a whole defensive shape again. We've got to break it down piece by piece, piece by piece. If you can't break down a defensive shape because you're struggling to have those traits and characteristics that I spoke about, then counter, transition, win the ball high up the pitch, take people out of the game with the way that you operate in terms of your press. You know, and if you can do that, then you're coming up against less people are out of position, and then you can score goals that way if you're struggling to break down a whole structure like a Man City. But because Lukaku is obviously not going to, and again, that's not a critique really, because he brings so many things that we lacked last season where our conversion rate was on the floor. We couldn't finish. All these things. We couldn't head the ball. None of our strikers could head the ball, apart from maybe Giroud. Giroud, you give it to him, but then he doesn't have the pace. He's bringing so many things into our attack in terms of traits and different qualities that we don't have. Then how can you say, oh, there's one thing that he's not going to do as well as Werner, so this is an awful situation? We just have to adapt. We have to just, again, tweak. He did miss a big chance in the last couple games that he's missed a few big chances. But in terms of actual service, the service is still pretty poor. And I think, again, I'm not really even going to blame it on one individual. I don't think there's one individual to blame. I think everybody's still figuring each other out. And I'm hoping going into this run of Norwich and all these other fixtures, Newcastle, these easier, I put that in quotations, easier fixtures, I'm hoping that we start to find chemistry. And like I said, I don't give two shiny shits who links up with Lukaku first. Just somebody please do it. If Ziyech finally starts sticking balls on Lukaku's head, pause, that sounded mad, then fantastic. If it's Mason Mount and Kova who continue to, progress the ball quickly to him and find him the most times and they have the best link up, fantastic. I don't care who executes this. Just somebody get it done. Because I really want us to win the league this season. I think we can do it. The pause, the capital letters, mad. I think we can win the league, but we are not there yet. Like what we're doing now is not sustainable. We're not there yet. We got a lot of work to do. But we're top, so that means we're in with a chance right now. So yeah. I like to do that for you guys. Sometimes just fuck you up. Oh, Christ, it's hilarious. All right, let me see what else is being said. I mean, there's so many things I haven't spoken about, man. So many things I haven't spoken about on here. Chilwell was a great goal, by the way. Really good goal against Brentford from Chilwell. Great connection with the volley. It's mad. It's mad that our left wing backs actually have better shooting technique than a lot of the players in the attack. But it was a fantastic finish. I mean, there's not really much more to say on that game. I think in terms of tomorrow, my team. Get your teams in the chat if you want to put them in as well, so I can read them out. And I'll go through those. Oh, you've already put your lineup. Top baller. Okay, hold on. Let me scroll. Oh, are StreamYard even going to let me go? Yes, they are. Fantastic. All right, cool. We don't talk about the hairline. Leave that. Let my hair grow back to the level it needs to be at before I'll visit HD Cuts and I'll be coming on like a painting. I'll be coming here, moving like a 10 out of 10, and you man you'll have to pay homage. Like next time I come on here with a haircut, you're paying homage. I'm not pissing about now. You won't catch me in West London again, in Ealing Broadway or some bullshit. Next time I come here with a haircut, you're going to be paying homage. You're going to be like, raw. As I'm in my right now, I'm in a phase where the hair is growing back. So just don't make me find a hat in it. Just let me go through what I need to go through. Let me do that in it. You already know the drill. I'll do this if I have to, just to stop you man from commenting. Let me go through my phase. I've already been in touch with Culture. I'm going to text Culture Cams, ask him who his barber is. I'm going to start scouting. Watch when I find the right barber. It's a wrap for all of you lot. So you have your jokes now, innit? No, it's bad, bro. Don't lie to me either. The trim's bad. Yo, I can't have this like this, bro. It's actually messed. Nah, I can't do this. Someone's gonna take a screenshot. I'd rather just move like this. All right. It's fine, man. It's fine. We'll find a way, bro. We'll find a way. Top baller said Mendy, Reece James, Christensen, Silva, rest Rudy. Okay, Chilwell. So this is a back four. J5, Kante, Loftus-Cheek, rested, Mount, Hudson-Odoi, Lukaku, Ziyech. Cool. Okay. Listen, I'm open to everybody's lineup. Like, this is a serious game, but at the same time, it's still Malmö who got themselves slapped up 3-4-0, and we should still be able to send out a lineup and do the business. So I'm interested in experimenting today. I want to see what you man got. I'm open to anything, to be honest. We got to see something different, right? We got to try something. Mendy, Reece James, Christensen, Rudiger, J5. So I'm guessing. Oh no time to mock about 3 points is crucial. Yeah. Okay, that's not a full team, though, is it? No, it's not a full team. But those are your guys that you're definitely starting. Got you. Cancer's saying Mendy, Chalobah, Christensen, Rudiger, Reece, J5, Saul. Okay, Chile, Havertz, Cho, Werner. So no Lukaku. Okay, fluid front three again. Okay. Saul in there. I mean, listen, if Saul's going to get a chance, he does need it in this game, or he can get it in the Carabao Cup against Southampton. And I think that's next week. But he does need... I'm starting to feel sorry for the brother. He came here with his best intentions. He starts throwing out tweets, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15 tweets on the opening day. He's buzzing. He's interacting. He's getting his followers up. He's on lives with Fabrizio on Twitch. And then he's behind Barkley in the pecking order. Like, that high to that swing low, that only happens in the crypto world. Do you know what I'm saying? That to the moon, and then that dip. And everybody's just dislodged. Everybody's just like taking away their stocks. Like, I'm investing in a different coin, bro. Sorry, this coin's done. This is dodge. It's a bit harsh. It's a little bit harsh. I'm telling you, that dip is ridiculous, bro. But invest in Saul Niguez stocks now, because if you do, and he does go on that high, you're gonna make some peas, bro. I think there is an app where you can actually invest in footballers and like their form and shit. It's weird. Oh, it's mad. But yeah, he's struggling right now. They're saying he's a bust. Victor's lineup. Let's get it. Mendy, Rudiger, Silva, Chalobah. I like the fact you got Chalobah in there. I want to see Chalobah as well. James, Chile, Kovar, Loftus-Cheek, Cho, Havertz, Mount. Again, no Lukaku, so you're going with the fluid thing. False 9 for Kai. It was the last time we've seen him at his best, potentially. Mendy, Chalobah, AC, Sarr. Okay. Reece, Kovar, Loftus-Cheek, Chile, Mount, Cho, and Lukaku. Okay. Aspie's in here for my brother, unknown football fan. It's gone with Mendy, RJ. We're going to talk about Man United pundits next. Aspie, AC, Chalobah, Alonso, J5, Kante, Kovar, Werner. Okay, another fluid. My Twitch didn't get hacked, no. Unless it's getting hacked right now. That would be new information to me. But no, I changed the password. I heard that Twitch accounts were getting hacked. I did hear about that through Saj. So then I ended up changing passwords and just making things mad secure. So I think I'm fine. But I think people's Twitches have been getting hacked. But moving on, let's talk about them Man United pundits. What in the raw has been happening over there? There's a lot of talk going on Sky Sports right now, Neville and Solskjaer and all that stuff. But what happened on the overlap, people, with Scholes, man? That was crazy. That was crazy. And I think he tried to back it up on Instagram by saying, I'm gonna answer that in a minute. I think he tried to double down and say, yeah, listen, Gus the Red Devil, we're about to talk about it right now, and don't tell me you agree. He doubled down on Instagram and saying, if your goalkeeper has to make that many saves, do you have a good defense? Now, I said after Brentford, we didn't defend very well. I agree. We did not have a good defense against Brentford. We conceded loads of high quality chances. They hit the post twice. We were poor defensively. We were 100%. But that game is not the norm for Chelsea over the course of the last, since the start of the season. It's not the norm since Tuchel came in. It's not. That game, I agree with you. That game, your goalkeeper should not have to make that many clear-cut, world-class saves. That is not a good defense. But over the whole time since Tuchel came in, the Champions League run and the start of the season, that is not the norm. That's Chelsea don't give up them many chances. In fact, we give up very few chances. It's actually the opposite. So I didn't understand that from him. That was a bit mad. And I think it was kind of ironic that Man United shipped 4 after he said that. So yeah, I thought that was quite strange. That's just my 2 cents on it. I wish I was on the overlap that day, and I wish they had more time to talk about it. Difference is, though, De Gea did that more often than Mendy. Mendy doesn't have to do that most games. But yeah, so that was weird. Yeah, that was very strange from him. Now, what other issues do we have? I mean, let's talk about that midfield dynamic as well. That I kind of did a tweet on yesterday. It seemed to reach a few people. Gallagher had a really good performance at the weekend again for Crystal Palace. Loftus-Cheek is doing very well right now as well. Gilmore's having a tough time at Norwich, but personally, I know he's talented. And if Norwich don't want to use him and they haven't won a game this season, that's on them. Like, if you don't think that the guy who was in the middle of the Scotland team in the Euros, winning man the matches at the Euros, you don't think, I think putting a man the match performance against England and took points off. If you don't think he can do business for you in a relegation scrap, and you can't find a way to make it work in a formation, that's on you. Cool. You get relegated, we move. West Brom got relegated with Gallagher. He's fine now. Loftus-Cheek, Fulham got relegated. He's fine now. Norwich can get relegated. Gilmore will be fine. He's still young. So if you, man, want to get relegated, that's your business. Keep it moving. Respectfully, we'll take him back and we'll sort it out. We'll sort out the mess. The talent speaks. Facts. The talent is there. So it's not going to change my opinion. I don't care what happens on this loan. If he doesn't play any more football, cool. We keep it moving. I know he's talented. That's a lot of players I've just mentioned. That's 3 guys, right? 3 guys. Plus we are established 3, which is Kova, Kante, Jorginho. Plus the transfer targets that you guys, we all wank over, right? You got your Bellinghams, your Rice, your Chouameni. That's 9 midfielders. Somebody ain't getting it. Now, even if you narrow that down to the 6, somebody's not making it. I don't mean to cause controversy, but listen, it's my first live in a few days, well, a few weeks. We got more lives tomorrow, don't worry. So there's some lives coming up as well. Got London show at 1. That's going to be live this time, not pre-recorded. And then we got the watch along, which is live as well. Review, I'm not sure. So we could actually have 3 lives tomorrow, but minimum 2. Plus Barkley, if you want to keep including him, which is fair. Respectfully. Who is leaving, brothers? Talk to me. Out of those 3 that I've mentioned, Loftus-Cheek, Gallagher, Gilmore, next season, what do you foresee? What do you foresee, man? Because right now, I'm saying somebody's going to probably leave with a buyback. That's what I'm thinking. I mean, it's happened so many times. I think Gallagher is one of those guys that is performing too well to come back into this team and not at least be very close to the starting 11. I think, obviously, it depends on him personally, but if he believes that he needs to play games, which he's been playing consistently for the last season and now this season, I think Gallagher may even look at it and say, right, am I coming into the team? Am I on the bench? Where am I? And if I'm too far down the pecking order, he's probably going to leave on a buyback. And then as Jorginho, Kante, Kova start to get into their 30s and maybe some of them start declining, then you sell, and then you bring back a Gallagher on a buyback. That's something that I see happening. Someone said Gallagher will go to Newcastle. I think that's an interesting shout. I think Newcastle will look for players like a Gallagher, who's had good seasons, young, he's got potential. There is, not that they even need to think about selling on, because they've got money now. But look at Man City, when they got the money, they started to buy quite a few young English players. They bought Jack Rodwell. If you guys remember him at Everton, Jack Rodwell. They had obviously Joe. He was quite a young Brazilian striker. Loads of players they bought. Absolutely loads. So it's a techie one. Ampadu at the moment in a back three, I'm counting him as a centre-back, not a midfielder. If we go to a back four, then I put him into midfield again. That's how I see it. I just put him where the higher numbers are. That's how I look at it. But yeah, it's a difficult one, people. But for tomorrow, let's see. You guys are saying Gilmour buyback. That's an interesting one. Gilmour buyback. Gallagher, I go to Newcastle. Gallagher to Arsenal. I don't know why Gallagher would go to Arsenal. I think Arsenal are just in a mess right now. I don't see why anybody would go to Arsenal right now with that manager in charge, and they're just so mid-table. But they need to get a manager first at Newcastle. That's true. That's very true. Prediction is Gallagher sold with a buyback and another loan for Gilmour. Fair enough. Gallagher going to Arsenal. Yeah, Goss. Yeah. Facts. Bro, you need to get better at trolling, because there's certain things that you're saying where the maths is not even mathing a little bit. Like, it's like going and doing an exam, a maths paper, and you don't get the right answer, but some of the working out's correct. So we're going to give you some marks. You're not getting the working out correct right now. You're not getting any marks. If you're trolling, you're not getting any marks. With a statement like this, with a statement like that, you get no working out marks and you get no right answer, which means you get 0 marks. If you had said something more realistic, we could have given you working out marks, because then you would have been wrong, but then you would have still got some marks. We can't give you any marks for that. That right there is too obvious. That's something that I look at, I go, and I keep it moving. I can't react to that. Come on now. Don't be silly. I don't give a shit what they've won. I don't give a shiny shit what they've won. All I know is that man, them are celebrating 2-2 draws at home to Palace, taking their shirts off like they just had seen Havertz round Edison. That's what I'm watching. I'm dealing with right now. Right now, I'm seeing that. I'm seeing Lacazette full-blown knee sliding at home to Palace, and I'm seeing big man take their shirts off and do a madness and knock over coffee tables. I'm not on that. This is not a discussion we're going to have. But yeah, so you guys have given your thoughts on that one. I think it's going to be an interesting development as the season goes on to see who is going to take that place or places. If we move to a 3-man midfield, it just opens up the options. There's more places to fight for. I'm a massive Jude Bellingham fan. And if there is an opportunity, I don't think next summer, but the summer after, to go after him, we would have to have a pretty amazing setup for me to say that we shouldn't be going in for him, because he's going to be unbelievable. Tchouaméni, Rice, I can live without those guys, but again, they're club targets. So to round things back up to the game, just to give it a bit of a full circle vibe, because it's all over the shop, and I'm just enjoying talking to you guys live again. We're going to wrap up now. It's been about an hour 20. You've got something here today. You got your live back. You got something. We're going to have the London show tomorrow at 1. So I'm going to put that up really tonight, and then you can set your reminders. Lee, we've got to speak to Lee, because Arsenal, we know what happened there. Toby, Kane finally scored, Corey. So we're going to do that. And then obviously the watch along, and then we'll go from there. But it's still it's still going to be mostly videos, guys. So don't, I haven't lied. I'm just saying, I just wanted to get some lives in, because I know you guys, I missed this. Let's just throw some in, just dash a couple lives in. Why not? Especially after God, God's kind of sent me a message today. He said, listen, your video didn't go up in full. You only got half the video out. For the 100 people that seen that, you only seen half a video. YouTube didn't process the whole thing. I took it as a sign from God that I needed to do a live. So here we are. Yeah, so it is what it is. But London Clubs Carnage needs a Brentford fan. That's probably spot But let's let them have a full season first. But yeah, yeah, man. When it comes to Malmo tomorrow, we need to win, and I would like it to be convincing if possible. I think a 1-0 win and a doggy performance again, I'd be disappointed. I think this is the kind of game now, and we spoke about it, where you try to find attacking chemistry, you try to find some sort of goals, some sort of confidence. People should be racking them in. You know, this is the kind of team where, you know, players start to rack in some goals, confidence levels goes up into Norwich. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for 4s and 5s, respectfully. Again, if you're going to take advantage of an easy fixture list and get confidence, then this is the way you need to do it. If we're going to continue to scrape 1-0s and 2-1s and put in, you know, pretty awful attacking performances, then we'll get the points. But that doesn't help us going into the Christmas period where the difficult fixtures come back and the fixture list gets congested. What did we really do over this period? Did we really take advantage of these fixtures and really, you know, get some, you know, feel good factor back into this? Or did we just win and keep it moving? So there's different ways of winning. So I'd like us to do the business tomorrow if possible. Let me know your score predictions in the chat. I'm going to go 3-0. I'm not going to go any higher than that because I feel like I'm just asking for the moon, the sun, the star, the whole lot. And to the person that asked the question on Hakimi, look, I think right wing back was more important than right side centre back. And I think I had a little nudge the other week. I can't remember what show I was on, but I started to think, was Jules Koundé just another, I know he doesn't play right wing back, but he played right back for France. He's a good dribbler. He's a good ball carrier. Scored a great goal against Barcelona. We've all seen it. Was he actually a guy that it was like, maybe we'll play him at right wing back sometimes and he'll dribble past players? I don't know. I don't think that's his strength. I think he's still a centre back. Don't get me wrong. But clearly they wanted to do something with that right-hand side in an attacking way from the defence. And whether that's Hakimi, obviously Livramento didn't stay. You know how annoyed that made me. Not like it's anyone's fault, but it pissed me off still. And I want to see him back. Us not having a proper right wing back does cause issues down that side for our attack. If someone could be 1v1 and could go past players and skip past players, it would be great. So that is a little issue. But I don't know how Koundé is on the right wing back, right back. I don't know. I'm just guessing. But yeah. But right wing back was definitely something to look at. And it's a shame. It's a shame. But the January window is not far. It's 2.5 months away. So maybe some action will come in there, but we'll have to see. So yeah, I do think we would have been better. Of course, if we had Hakimi, we would be better. Of course we would. He's a world-class right wing back. Probably the best right wing back in the world. Him and Trent, the top 2 attacking fullbacks on the planet. I'm trying to think if anybody else is in there. Maybe there's another person that comes into the discussion. Maybe Joao Cancelo. You know, those 3 top 3 right backs going forward, I'd say. So it would have been great to have him. But again, listen, we don't beg nobody to come to this club. If you don't want to come in and you want to go Paris, go Eiffel Tower, bro. Go Eiffel Tower. It's not a problem. Do you know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. So yeah, I'd say those 3. Yeah, Cancelo. I'd say those 3. Can't really think of any others. I'd say those top 3. Yeah. So it is what it is, people. We keep it moving. It's not a problem. You know what I mean? We do what we do, and that's that. But yeah, absolute pleasure doing this. It's good to be back in some form, some capacity. It's been a while. We ain't done this in a while. I seen people in the chat just before was gonna like, this is a bit weird, isn't it? I seen the mods having little discussions amongst themselves. Hey man, how you doing? I ain't seen you in a couple of weeks. What are you saying? Yeah. What are you saying, bro? Everybody and all the mods got here early. It was just to stand guard, just in case there was spam. Don't worry, I had slow mode on. They were looking around like, yo, this is weird, bro. We ain't done this in a couple of weeks. Yeah, it's good to be back. I think it's been nice. It's been good to be back. I do miss the live chat. So, you know, it won't be 2 weeks again. We'll try not to go 2 weeks again without doing one, of course. But obviously, we've been going on videos recently, which I think you guys are enjoying the videos. But yeah, it's good to do a live just to get back in touch and see what you man are saying in terms of opinions, a little bit more direct, and not just comments. But yeah, I've enjoyed this. It's been really fun. Thank you so much for coming. 300 of you in here at this late time, at this late notice, coming and chilling with me today. And I've enjoyed this. We're going to do it all again tomorrow with the London show. Good to bring that back live tomorrow. That's going to be carnage, as is the name. And the watch along. Looking forward to that as well. And I might be going to the Norwich game. So we'll see what happens there. I may even try, and I don't know if I'm going to vlog that. I'll try. I'm thinking about it. I don't know if I can vlog, but I might try it. But don't hold your breath. I'm not promising that. Don't even hold me to that. I said I'm thinking about it. All right. Don't even. If it doesn't happen, do not be surprised. It's a thought. Nothing but a thought. But smash up the likes. Hit me up in the comments. And I'll see you guys tomorrow, 1 p.m. London Clubs Carnage with Lee, Toby, and Corey. And yeah, we gonna have a mad show. You know what that show is like. It's gonna be a madness. In a bit, people. Much love. Bless up yourselves. Have a good night. Peace. Perfect.